Now here's my next question. What do you think that park, what does that park have to do with who Palmer is and how he feels? How does Palmer feel? In that second box, how does he feel about the park?
Scared.
He's scared.
Not safe.
Not safe. So go ahead and write those two things down.
I don't know what we're doing.
He feels what? Hey, what?
So just in this
Not safe. What else?
and scared. So he's not feeling safe and he's scared. So you have to do it, you did it anyway.
I hear mine, not. Why would you say not?
That's coming back together. Voices are off. 3, 2, 1. 3 to 3 seconds.
See, look, she said it right.
0. Okay, so how do you think the boys were roughing around? And Palmer's already afraid of this place. How does this setting, how did it affect him? Jonathan?
He didn't feel like he was gonna, he didn't feel
Right.
he felt scared and not safe that the kids were messing, doing bad.
Okay. At the end of this chapter, it said that he ran. Okay. If you didn't catch that, it says he ran. Do you think he ran away from the place, or was he running away from his friends?
Running away from his friends.
Yes. So this place, this setting, the soccer field or the playground, represents to him something that he's scared of. And in this moment,
Who does that? Some psycho friend.
I didn't ask for comments. Please hold it.
Well,
So in this moment, actually, he's running away from his friends because they're doing something, first of all, in a place that he doesn't like to be there. Second of all, it actually heightened his level of fear when something like that happened.
he wasn't. He wasn't.
So go ahead and write on that third box that the effect that this place has set on him is that he's now actually scared of his friends.
Wait, why don't we need the whiteboard for?
I will explain in a moment. Okay.
I was like, what's that look like?
All right. Now, what we're gonna do is I want you to think deeper about how this setting, where they live, how does this have an effect on them as little kids? Okay. So we're gonna take 30 silent seconds. Going to repeat myself. without getting up. I want you to take 30 silent seconds to think about this question. How does the setting affect the character? That is your question. How does the setting affect the character? That 30 seconds starts now. So you're thinking silently. I'm going to restart that 30 seconds because I hear some chatter. So, going to repeat my direction since people weren't hearing correctly. Again, the question is on the board. How does the setting affect the character? Take 30 silent seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. Now go ahead and high five a partner. You're sitting in a group of 3. That's totally fine. High five a partner or someone that you can share with. Thank you. Thank you. You can share with them. Yeah.
Bruh.
Yes, so that you can have this.
So wait, thank God.
Again, right now you're sharing your response to what you just thought about with your partner. So what do you think? So in that 30 seconds, what were you thinking about? How does the setting affected Palmer in the story?
Well, because Palmer didn't like the bark, so
He didn't like the part, okay?
he never liked it.
What did you say?
He never liked it.
Okay, he never liked it. So how does that have, when he's there, what kind of effect does that setting have on him? Is what?
Unsafe.
So he's feeling that it's unsafe, right? So does that in some way to you, and your answer could just be yes or no, in some way does that prevent him from being with his friends? Yes, so do you think that his fear took over? Yeah.
But I gotta admit, those are some terrible friends that he wants.
He what?
Those are terrible friends that
Yeah, so his friends weren't the nicest, right? Does that, like, what he saw in that space, in that moment of them playing around really rough, does that makes him want to play with them more, or did that prevent him from not? Yeah, so it prevents him not doing that, right? Okay. Just about 15 more seconds to share. Coming back together. 5, 4, 3, 2. Disable. Voices are on. 1, 0. Okay, in this next step, instead of sharing out, we're gonna write. I'm gonna wait too. In this next step, instead of sharing out like we usually do, I want for us to write on the board, and I have a sentence frame for us. Fill this in. The story takes place in blank. This affects the character because blank. So I want you to take 1 minute to write this on the board. This, with your partner, try to help each other out. You have 1 minute. That minute starts now.
Alright, the story takes place in this character goes especially when it
I see that Jonathan is.
Alright, let's go.
Get up. Get up.
Yeah.
Wait,
I gotta get an extra mark. Brandon, I mean, what else is in your I mean, you're I had the one where you said that
So listen to this and
Why are you coming back?
Are you
takes place in another part. This one does not.
whatever this is going on.
No, right here.
So let's go ahead and write down the sentence frame for me. Cesar, why don't you go ahead and do it? Cesar, why don't you find a seat? Can you take a seat? So I said 1 minute, but it seems like we're not there yet. We're gonna add about 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds before we share out.
Yeah. Stop staring at me. Whoa.
Makai, I'm seeing that you're off.
And the server part. It's just the eye, It's fine anyways. Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later, Brandon.
Game up.
So Eddie, are you making sure that you're sharing your thoughts with Cesar as well?
They said it.
Take this last 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Leslie, I need your hood off as I've asked. Okay, coming back together. 3, 2, voices are off. 1, 0. Gonna have some people to share out. Samantha, why don't you go ahead and hold up your thing so Makai can share. Makai, can you read what is on your board?
All of it? Like to you or to everybody?
To everyone, to the whole class.
This one she said, but
Wait, Makai should be the only one talking right now.
Wait. The story takes place in the park. This affects the character because.
Wait, I'm hearing some chatter.
See, look, I don't even want to read it anymore. They disrespect me. Actually, why do I have to read it? I don't know what happened. I came late.
Okay, but you were just now working with Samantha, so
We didn't get
since she was writing, I want you to share out. Okay. So why don't you go ahead and try again?
I don't even know the character names.
Makai, please just share.
No. It's writing. The story takes place in the park. This affects the character because Harry is killing him.
Is that exactly what it says? Oh, no, you don't need to get up.
See, I'm trying to show you. That's what it says.
Okay, so Samantha, I want to hear from you. Why did you write that?
We wrote this because two Palmer's friends are fighting.
Okay, so they were fighting,
Yeah, okay.
but we're talking about the setting of the story, right? How did the setting affect the character?
That's what I was trying to do.
It affected the character because the character did not want to play with his friends.
Okay. Paulina, can you share out what you and your partner wrote on the board?
What me and my partner wrote was the story takes place in the park. This affects the character because he is not scared of the sun.
Good, great. Cesar and Eddie, I'm gonna move the camera over here. This one. Cesar and Eddie, can you please share out to the class what you wrote on your board?
The story takes place in the park. This affects the character because he never liked being in the park and his new friends are not playing in the way he likes it.
So Cesar, I know that you wrote that. Do you have anything to add to that, Cesar? No? Nope, you're good? Alright. So again, the setting